guys, welcome back to TFD. So we've got to talk about what's going on with Team USA right now, because the situation surrounding Kara Lawson and the starting lineup is starting to raise a lot of eyebrows. During the post-game questions, it honestly felt like she didn't really want to address it. When she said, everybody's playing a different role and everyone is number one, I'm sorry, but fans don't want to hear that kind of generic answer right now. That kind of answer just sounds like PR bullshit to a lot of people watching this unfold. The real question people are asking is simple. Why is Chelsea Gray starting 2 games in a row when the production just hasn't been there yet? Through these first couple games, we haven't seen much impact. And meanwhile, you have Caitlin Clark, one of the most dynamic offensive players in basketball, barely that's the part that's pissing a lot of fans off. And that's what really stood out to me watching the game. Why take the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hands? From the outside looking in, it started to resemble the same offensive issues we saw at times with the Indiana Fever under Stephanie White. The flow just felt off, and Clark wasn't being put in positions to control the game the way we know she can. Watching that offense at times honestly had people sitting there like, what the hell is this shit? Now look, I could be wrong. Maybe there's a bigger plan behind the scenes. And one thing about Caitlin Clark is she's not going to complain publicly. She's going to show up, do her job, and stay professional like she always does. But as fans who have watched her dominate with elite vision and scoring ability, seeing her finish with around 8 points just feels strange. It doesn't match the talent we know she has. At some point, you have to ask, are they really maximizing what Caitlin Clark brings to the floor? Because right now, it doesn't look like it. And a lot of fans watching this are starting to get seriously damn frustrated about it. Let's listen Kara Lawson what she said.
And the press conference will be conducted in English for our international audience, and we are going to start with USA. We have head coach Kara Lawson as well as Kiki Arifin, and we're going to start with Coach Lawson. If you could just give us your initial thoughts on the game before we head out to media questions.
I want to start off by saying how great of an environment it was, here in San Juan to play the host country. It was electric in there. It was loud. It was awesome to be a part of. So it was great. Thank you to the Puerto Rican fans and everybody that helped make this just a great opportunity for us and a great game. I thought Puerto Rico played very, very hard, and they played hard the entire time. They challenged us with their effort, and I thought they made a lot of hustle plays to create baskets for themselves. And, this was more of an uneven game for us on both ends. We talked about it as a team, and I thought we had some good spots, but I also thought we had some rough spots, and that's good. It's good to have rough spots sometimes. You're able to kind of figure some things out, and we're still figuring things out, but overall, pleased with our effort and pleased to get the win.
Kiki, we'll go to you if you could just tell us your initial thoughts on the game as well.
Yeah, I think for me, just being more disciplined with my fouls, I think I can do a better job of just adjusting to this play. But it's super physical, which I love, and I know I'm just trying to be very present. This is my first time on the senior team and just playing internationally, so just taking everything in and doing whatever my team needs me to do.
We'll head out to media questions now. Just a reminder that if we could say your first and last name as well as the media company you're with. And the mic will be passed over, so just raise your hand if you have a question and we'll get the mic to you.
To start for Coach Kara.
Sorry, just your name and media company.
Yes. Jambari Moreau, Miami Herald. And then for Coach Kara, I wanted to ask one for Kara and then one for Kiki. Despite you talked about those rough patches throughout the game, the team still had 28 assists on 34 made field goals. What does this say about the chemistry of your team tonight?
The unselfishness on our team is really high, and we talk a lot about making the right plays, and that's something that's ingrained in all of our players. I think they've been taught well from their high school days, their college days, their professional days. So they really look to attack and get an extra defender and find the open person. I thought we did that at a really high level. We didn't shoot the ball as well as we did yesterday, not only from the free throw line but also from three. But I thought the quality of our shot attempts was high again, and I think it just speaks to they understand that we have to play together to win. And so I think the assist ratio just speaks to that.
And then for Kiki, wanted to ask, obviously you just came from Unrivaled. How does that experience of playing Unrivaled in Miami help sharpen your game coming into this Team USA run?
I would say with Unrivaled, I had to guard on the perimeter a lot. So sometimes here we're switching 1 through 4, 1 through 5. So being able to hold my own on the perimeter, I feel like that's something that has been able to translate here.
Luis Rodriguez from the La Línea Podcast. This question for Kiki. Kiki, you talked in your first experience with the senior national team. What did you mean to represent it, be to the with this stage with the senior Team USA?
It means everything. It's such an honor to be super young in my career and to be able to play at this level. I don't take it for granted. So for me, every opportunity, I'm just trying to give it my best and play super hard. But it's incredible to be able to wear USA across my chest, to be able to play with great players who have also won at the highest level. So I'm just trying to be a sponge, taking every moment, but then also know when I'm on the floor, I was meant to be on this team.
Javier Gorbea, newspaper Claridad in Puerto Rico. Coach, you talk about Puerto Rico's effort. You played yesterday with Senegal. We kind of know that there are like two divisions, you guys, Spain and Italy are the top two teams in the tournament, and then there is Senegal, Puerto Rico, and New Zealand. See what you see. Do you think they have a chance of making it to the World Championships, Puerto Rico?
I think when you get into these tournaments, the qualifying, every team has an opportunity, but the baseline of that is playing with great effort and executing. And I thought they did that well tonight, and certainly without one of their better players in Garantes, 22, who didn't play. So I think there's a lot to like about their team, and certainly they should feel good about their performance.
Emmanuel Marquez, Easy Endurance. My question is for Coach Lawson. The U.S. is already qualified for the World Cup, so my question is, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to take out of this tournament, knowing that perhaps you're already in the World Cup?
This tournament is our only chance before the World Cup to have games against other national teams. We can have training before then, but not games, actual FIBA games in an environment and play multiple national teams. So it's a very valuable couple weeks for us, and it's also a chance. We have so many players making their national team debut. Take Kiki, for instance. She's getting just reps at being on this team and getting more and more comfortable at playing at this level, and that's really valuable for a young player in this environment. And it's not just the reps in the games, it's also the opportunity to be around our veteran players, continue to learn, to be around our staff. There's on-court chemistry, but there's also off-court chemistry. Our coaching staff, we get reps with each other in terms of putting together a game plan, communication in game, halftime. All of those things are about repetition, and so for us, that's the goal of this tournament, and we want to win too. Yeah.
Eddie Fontanes from Sports Talks PR. For both, first, if you can talk about the physicality, especially of tonight's game, and for Coach, first two games have been pretty wide open, and which a lot of people will see a lot of good because points-wise and everything. But what are some of the things that you think that you still have to work on for the next up-and-coming games?
Yeah, it's very physical, but I love that. I feel like I'm a very physical player. For me, it's just kind of adjusting to that balance, as I mentioned, like foul trouble, of being physical but also being smart, not being reckless. But I think we love to play fast. We love to hold our own too in the paint. So just kind of getting adjusted to what it's like playing at this level.
The question for both of you,
Sorry to interrupt you, just your name and your media.
Rodrigo Terogoico from Bonita Radio. Two questions for both of you. First of all, what does it represent, what does it mean to both of you to represent the United States during these times and be ambassadors of the basketball game outside of the United States? And secondly, do you guys feel the responsibility of being the best team in the world and the exposure and the reach that you guys have in being able to, get basketball to places that women's basketball to places that is not there yet, not much interest, and how do you feel about that? But mostly about the ambassador and what represents to, represent the United States nowadays.
In my basketball career, both playing and coaching, this is the highest honor that I've received to represent the United States women's national team on the world stage in World Cup play and Olympic play. It is the number one thing for me and for a lot of our players as well. So there's a great deal of pride, not only to represent our country, but when you're a professional and you work years and years and years towards something and you're able to attain an accomplishment like this, it's very, it's validating is the word I would use, because you put a lot of time and effort into it. So I'm really proud to be the head coach of this team. And I think from the big picture standpoint of what we represent, there's no doubt our program has represented excellence for decades. And, I see that as an incredible thing and something that we all want to add to. We want to be a part of adding to the incredible legacy of the USA women's basketball. And so we work daily to do that. I'll be honest with you, I don't think big picture each day when I'm working. Like today I'm trying to figure out how we're going to guard Puerto Rico the best. So I don't think, hopefully we have a great game for the world to see. We're trying to figure out how to win. And I think if you keep your focus narrow, that allows you to have your best results. And then the byproduct of that success is hopefully growing the game of women's basketball.
Hi, Raúl Alzaga from La Libreta.
Sorry, did you want Kiki to speak on that as well?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Coach said it beautifully, and I just add, a lot of us, we understand that we're role models for the young girls coming up behind us, and we don't take that lightly. I think we do a great job of just carrying ourselves well and interacting with fans and just putting out a product that, one, the country can be proud of, but then, young girls can look up to us and I want to be like them one day. So I think we hold that with a lot of honor as well.
Sorry to interrupt you, go ahead.
No problem. Raúl Alzaga from La Libreta. Coach Lawson, congrats on your victory and very unselfish play. So congrats on that as well. Having played Senegal on your first day and Puerto Rico today, I'm doing a follow-up on Javier's question. What do you think are the main strengths of both teams, having played them already?
Yeah, they both play really hard. I think that's something we felt, and they both played with a great physicality, and I think they had a great competitive spirit. So that's something that both teams brought to the game. They have some size inside. Obviously, Puerto Rico has a center with great size, and Senegal had some size in the post as well. And then athleticism in the guards. I would say Senegal's perimeters got a little more height than Puerto Rico's perimeter, but Puerto Rico's perimeter has a great quickness that you saw from San Antonio and Rosado. So, I think they both have a chance to have a good tournament.
Hi, Kendra Andrews, ESPN. This question's for either one of you. Coach, you were talking about how there was some good and there was some bad. Was the stuff that you have to work on done by Puerto Rico? Was it self-imposed? And if it's the latter, how do you kind of go about navigating just not self-harm in these games?
I think anytime there's breakdowns, it's usually a combination of both. So we weren't as tight in our coverages as we wanted to be, and they exploited that. And so if we can be tighter, you would hope they wouldn't be able to exploit it as easily maybe. But they're going to make plays and they're going to score points. We know we're not going to pitch a shutout, So I think it's a combination of both, and it's our reaction and our understanding of the coverages, and then being really precise within those coverages to have the proper angle, the proper depth, the proper body position. Like all those things matter, especially when the opponent is increasing in difficulty, because an opponent that increases in difficulty, they have more skill and power to exploit the things that you're not doing well.
We have time for one last question. Go ahead.
Sara del Valle Hernández from El Nuevo Día newspaper in Puerto Rico. I have a question for Coach Lawson and one for Miss Irefen. For Coach, what did you like the most about your team performance tonight against Puerto Rico?
I think what I like the most is how much they share the basketball, their willingness to play with one another and to be excited for each other's success. We're playing a lot of people. They're playing a lot less than their normal minutes. It's different for them rotationally. I mean, all of these players start, with their respective WNBA teams, and all of them are like, if not the number one option, the number two option on their team. And so you're asking them to play a different role, in particular on the offensive end, and they're all doing it willingly and trying their best. So that's something that I appreciate and I'm proud of.
For Ms. Iriafen, what did you learn from playing against Puerto Rico tonight?
They were just super physical. They had a lot of heart, compete, like they never stopped playing. And I think for me, like, I just wanted to match that, but also exceed that as well. But they gave us everything they could, especially in the post. Stafford is a great post player, so just matching up and being able to guard her defensively and then also impose my will offensively is something that I felt like I worked throughout the game. But great team.
Thank you, Coach.
So, did you see Kara Lawson? It sounds like she's refusing to answer questions about the starting lineup, because the more I think about that interview, the more confusing it gets. When she was asked about the starting lineup, it honestly sounded like she was dodging the question. At the end, she basically said something along the lines of, everybody has a different role and everyone is the number one. Now look, I don't want to hear none of that. That answer doesn't really explain anything. Honestly, it just sounds like one of those vague corporate-style answers that piss fans off even more. Because if you actually watched the game, you could clearly see something was off with how Caitlin Clark was being used. And this goes back to something we talked about in the last video, the zone defense the other team was running. When a team plays that type of zone, the offense usually has to move the ball around. Most coaches will tell you the first pass probably won't break the defense. Sometimes it takes the second or even the third pass before you get a good look. But here's the problem. Caitlin Clark wasn't getting the ball enough for that to even happen. Then she couldn't control the game the way we know she can. That's what people mean when they say she was damned if she does, damned if she doesn't. And yeah, that kind of situation would frustrate the hell out of anybody watching. Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers had a stretch where she really got going. And a lot of fans online were saying it almost looked like the system was set up for her to shine in those moments. I'm not saying that's 100% what happened, but that's definitely the conversation people are having right now. People on social media were going crazy arguing about that shit. And here's the thing. Caitlin Clark still ended up putting together a double-double on a big stage. That alone tells you the level of player she is. Even when the flow of the offense isn't running through her consistently, she still finds ways to produce. That's just what elite players do. But the bigger question right now is about the lineup decisions. A lot of fans are wondering why Chelsea Gray continues to start while Clark's role still feels a little unclear. That's the part people want answers about. And honestly, the interview didn't really clear that up. It just left people even more confused and irritated. The team plays again soon, so we'll see what adjustments get made. Maybe things will look completely different in the next game. But after watching this one, I can't lie, a lot of fans are frustrated. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Do you think the rotations and ball movement need to change, or are people overreacting? And if you're following this coverage, make sure you keep those notifications on so you don't miss the next update.